I don't have a blue, so pass that one down when you're done. Oh, lordy, lordy. All right, and send it down that direction.
Good evening. We'll start the meeting for March 21st. We'll start off with a prayer by Commissioner Joel Keller, the pledge allegiance to the flag by Commissioner Rogan. Stand.
Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening, as always, asking your blessing on our meeting. Give us your wisdom and counsels, Lord, so that we can make the right decisions for our city. We ask a blessing on all of our staff and all of our members of our city as they go about their jobs day to day. Keep them safe and bless them with what they do. We ask a special blessing on all of our first responders, Lord, as they keep us safe, keep them safe. And as always, keep a watch over our military, Lord. Wherever they are in the world, keep them safe and bring them home to us. We ask all of this in your name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Commissioner Grogan?
Here.
Commissioner Wilson is absent, excused. Mayor Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Ferstner?
Here.
Commissioner Keller?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. At the presentation, we have a proclamation for Water Conservation Month of April. Whereas the City of Ocoee is working with all its citizens and visitors to increase the awareness of the importance of water conservation for the present and all future generations. And whereas the City of Ocoee is actively engaged in a water conservation campaign to promote the awareness of the necessity to conserve water, a natural and vital resource, and has continued to sustain the power program in promoting water preservation to education to the citizens and visitors of Ocoee through alternative methods and ideas, and annually where the governor and cabinet of the state of Florida, along with St. Johns River Water Management District, designate the month of April as Water Conservation Month in the state of Florida, and urge every resident and visitor to become more aware of the need to conserve water and thus promote a healthy economy and community. And whereas the month of April, a typically dry month when water demands are most acute, shall be designated as Water Conservation Month in the city of Ocoee, and the city will actively promote ideas and instruction to residents and visitors about how they can help save Florida's precious resources. And whereas every business, visitor, and homeowners can make a difference when it comes to conserving water, which is a natural resource that is essential to all living things. Now therefore, the City Commission of the City of Ocoee, Florida, in recognition of this important initiative, does hereby proclaim April 2017 as Water Conservation Month. Thank you. Are you here to get this, young lady? Thank you. We'll bring we have no picture takers here tonight. Uh-oh. Thank you very much. That's our young lady from the Water Department, Utilities. All right, next will be Ocoee Special Economic Enhancement District.
We're going to move that to
You're gonna move that to
April 4th.
April the,
April 4th?
April, what is it?
4th.
4th? April the 4th. All right, update on moratorium for overlay districts and above-ground utility poles.
Yes, the above-ground utility pole moratorium expires 30th of April of this year. And in working, there's model legislation out. I think the City of Orlando adopted it. But in working with a consultant, first trying to find a consultant that knows something about this type of a use. It's brand new, and it's not like a normal communication tower. We regulate those because those are located on property. This is a company that's looking to put antennas up to 120 feet within the right-of-way, the grass area between the pavement and the sidewalk. There is legislation, which the city attorney can expand upon. But there's a House bill presently going, that House Bill 687, and it highly restricts FDOT and local governments from regulating, prohibiting, or collecting permit fees on these wireless facilities. So I think it's best that we wait for the session to end and see if this law makes it through, because we could adopt something and then 2 weeks later, or when the bill gets signed, it could be all for naught, and kind of decide from there which way to go. And at that time, the local governments, our Assistant City Attorney Dana is a part of a local government attorney consortium that's reviewing and following this, and we can get a better idea. One thing that the bill does that is kind of a change, right now, it has a provision where in the right-of-way, if they do a separate tower, if they don't co-locate on a utility pole, that tower could be no more than 30 feet higher than the closest light pole next to it. So that may lower it, but you still have this structure within our right-of-way, and we're not able to kind of regulate our right-of-way. Scott, do you want to expand upon that?
Yeah, so I guess the idea is the moratorium expires the end of this,
Of April.
end of April. So we would bring back another ordinance extending that moratorium till after at least until after the legislative session, to see if we're preempted or not.
Yeah, kind of like 90 days after the session, so. Secondly, there's a moratorium we did that limits fast food restaurants, indoor storage facility, discount retail, fast food restaurants, tire changing, automobile facilities. And I have a consultant that I'm working with, and we initially thought we would kind of attack this situation on a density-based or limitation based on linear feet away. Now, this moratorium comes to an end March 31st. And in some in the ordinance we were looking at to update the code to kind of limit them, we found a lot of holes that other jurisdictions who have tried to either use a density base or a limiting based on factors of distance. And so I'm not comfortable bringing a ordinance amending our land development code that's going to really keep these uses out. And what we want to take a closer look at is, in some cases in a mixed-use development, if it's, say, 30% of the use, and that enables a good mixed-use development to happen, potentially we want that use, if it's architecturally cohesive. So we need more time on this moratorium as well. So tonight, by discussing it in a public hearing, we can use pending legislation and bring back a very short, this will not be a long extension of 6 months. I do not have anybody lined up that's waiting for this moratorium to end. This is really kind of limiting some uses along the Highway 50 and the 429, and so that's my second update there. So we'll bring something back. And that's it.
Thank you.
So
Anybody have any comments on that before we move
yeah,
on?
so one question, and so you're telling me we need to open a public hearing later tonight?
We will
Discuss
bring
that?
back the resolution for the extending moratorium, and we'll do it at that time. But by at least putting it on the record publicly tonight,
Okay.
that kind of fills the gap.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anybody else? All right, we're going to move on to comments from citizens and public. Anybody in the public, fill out a form, and if it's anything that's not on our agenda tonight.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager. I'm here, Martha Lopez Anderson, 2438 Alcove Circle. I'm here as a volunteer of the Spring Fling Committee. Just wanted to report back to you and thank you for your support. Everyone said that it's the best ever yet. We had an awesome array of organizations and businesses that came out to take part in Spring Fling. 1,500 hot dogs were prepared by the Lions Club, then served by the Junior Service League and the Women's Club of Ocoee. So we thank them for their support. And many city departments come forward to make this event a success, but I especially want to say thank you to the police department and to the power program, utilities department. They really step it up every year to make this event a real success. And so, and the volunteers, the other volunteers that give of their time to make it happen as well. Now I'll switch off my hat, Mayor and Commissioners, and speak as the founder and president of Saving Young Hearts, we had a heart screening event during Spring Fling at the Lakeshore Center. And so I want to thank you, and in particular our fire department, for their support. 121 children between the ages of 5 and 18 years old were screened on that day. And of those, 5 children were identified as having risk factors that put them obviously at risk for sudden cardiac arrest and death. 2 of those 5 were emergent cases. So that means they needed immediate follow-up with a pediatric cardiologist. And so that's why we do what we do, so that hopefully we don't have to hear about stories of a child that collapses at school or on the field, or, dies in their sleep. That's the whole goal of the program. During that day, every child that came and to the screening, as well as their siblings and parents, they all learned how to do hands-only CPR and how to use an automated external defibrillator. And so, again, thank you for the support that you've lent our organization over the years, and know that you have been part of also protecting and saving young lives. So thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Don't forget to fill out your form.
I think you took some home.
My name is Christopher Adkins. I live at 606 Ridgefield Avenue. That's here in the beautiful city of Ocoee. I'm just referring back to some of the meetings we had for the fiscal 2017 budget. And Mr. Grogan had put forth some legislation in regards to, or some amendments in regards to an audit that was to be conducted this year. So I just had a quick question in regards to that, if we had started it or if it was being started, and who we had contracted to do so.
We haven't discussed that yet, Rob.
Bob, do you want to answer that question?
Or maybe we have.
I'm Bob Briggs with the Finance Department. Our fiscal year 16 ending September 30, 16, is currently under audit. We use McDermott Davis. We have for several years. We anticipate completion around the end of April.
Is that a routinely audit done?
Every year it's a requirement.
Because this was a particular audit, Mr. Grogan, you had put forth that was a little bit different. It was more into the actual entities of the city and each individual, not just our financial audit. It was of the departments, yes.
It's a separate issue. I can't speak to that.
Okay. Thank you. I'll just let it rest till the next time, and it's on record that I had asked about it, and we can check on it then.
I'll get with Rob, and we'll talk about it.
If I'm not mistaken, Rob, did they vote on to do it?
I remember discussing it. I can't remember
Didn't get
if
approved,
it was
I don't
put in the
think.
budget.
Grogan put it forth, Keller seconded, and it was voted unanimous.
We'll check on that.
Yeah, we have
Cool.
to look it up.
Okay, yeah, excellent, thank you.
Thank
I know it had been many years since we'd done one of that nature. I know
Yeah,
the
yeah.
financial one's done yearly, so that was my only question.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else? Mr. Menacke, come up. Hey, let's hear it for Mr. Menacke.
R.P. Menacke. I'm just looking down here. Item H, $25 million for improving the downtown Ocoee. Can you clarify what you're going to do for $25 million?
Well, I said we'd wait to talk about those issues when we got to that part of the commission meeting. You want to wait till we get to that item? Remember, I said if you're going to get up and talk now, it had to be on something that wasn't on the agenda.
Well, this is, well,
It's going to be on the agenda.
We'll get to it shortly.
We'll get to it
We're going to
shortly.
discuss it.
what are you supposed to, wait, I'll wait till the next meeting to ask?
No.
No, when we get to it on the agenda. We haven't got to it yet.
Yeah, it's H, we're only up to C. So when we get
Oh,
down to
okay.
H, then we'll talk about it. So it'll be
Normally you
tonight.
go through this without even touching it, but it will be on the agenda.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah. We've been discussing it for the last year. No, it's not on the consent agenda.
There's a lot of chit chat, what are they actually do? Since you got $25 million, what are they gonna do?
half of it was yours. All right, let's move along. All right, staff reports.
Yes, Mayor. Just briefly, want to remind everyone about Best Fest, the Taste of West Orange, which is going to be out here at Bill Breeze Park along beautiful Stark Lake on the 30th of April. It starts at 5 o'clock and ends at 8:30. If you are interested in going, you can call the West Orange Chamber of Commerce at 407-656-1304 for tickets.
March or April?
What did I say? March. All right, I'm sorry. March 30th.
It's on our calendar.
Yes, it is on the calendar. That's all.
That's
Thanks.
it?
Yep.
All right, next we'll have the commissioner's announcement. Commissioner Keller.
None at this time.
Commissioner Forstner.
I'd just like to thank Martha Lopez Anderson and her organization, Saving Young Hearts. It's a fantastic organization. You do a great job, and keep it up. We really do appreciate it.
All right, Commissioner Grogan.
I have nothing at this time, Mayor.
All right. The district and commission meeting is the fourth Monday every month at 6:30 here at City Hall. The next scheduled meeting is Monday, March the 27th. Rob's already said Best Fest. The Charter Review Commission is meeting next month on Wednesday, April the 19th here in City Hall at 6:30. Please note the board has changed the start time from all future meetings from 7 p.m. to 6:30. All right, consent agenda.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Keller to approve consent agenda, seconded by Commissioner Forstner. Any more discussion? If not, let's vote. Public hearings, approval of resolution for the Georgia Street right-of-way vacation.
Yes, for the record, Mike Rimmer, City Planner. For you is a vacation abandonment of a platted right-of-way that's unimproved. It's to Georgia Street. This is the location north of Main Street, just west of the ditch, in the location of the off-site stormwater pond being used by City Center West Orange. This is a description of the right-of-way. It's a paper right-of-way, was never constructed. It terminates at Chicago, which is not constructed, and then it used to go all the way through to Richmond. There had been some vacations of that portion years ago. So this is an updated arrow on the property appraiser. This is the section of Georgia Street to be vacated. You can see the beginning of the off-site stormwater pond. We're vacating the road because it's going to be a stormwater detention system for the City Center West Orange. And then future phase of the development, they will create some new public roads in here as they did with the City Center development. And then I have close-up of it, you can see. And then this is the off-site stormwater pond, and that is the right-of-way going through it. We did contact all the utility companies and have letters of no objection. So this is a
We normally reserve an easement, and we don't need that in this case?
Well, sometimes we do when we have existing facilities or the potential for future facilities. That future development is partial. The future right-of-ways are shown graphically on our community redevelopment area, target area 2 plan, and there is not a proposed road in this section. The road's going to kind of come up through here and curve around in the future, so there's no need to reserve any future utilities. With that, I'll entertain any other questions.
Questions from the board? If not, I'll open it for the public. The meeting is now open for the public for any comments. No comments, we'll close it, bring it back to the podium.
Let me go ahead and read the title to the resolution. This is a resolution of the City of Ocoee, Florida, abandoning and vacating that portion of Georgia Street, a 60-foot wide public right-of-way lying between the easterly right-of-way line of Chicago Avenue and the westerly right-of-way line of Georgia Street as depicted on the map of Ocoee plat. Plat Book A, pages 100 and 101 of the Public Records of Orange County, Florida, providing for recordation, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
All right. Your motion?
I move to approve the resolution to vacate the right-of-way.
Second?
Motion made by Commissioner Firstman to approve the resolution, seconded by Commissioner Keller. Just real quick, I'll bring it up after this. We'll vote for it. Let's go ahead and vote. On the, Mike, there were some emails sent out about closing that street from Blackwood where the retirement center is coming that way. Did we address that at all? I don't know if Steve's here or not.
We have not, the developer has expressed a need at a time coming up to close the road. It would be for a substantial amount of time, so I wanted to bring that up when I have the most accurate information, so maybe an attorney day.
Okay.
So Rob can help make a decision, and then we can bring it back later on.
To discuss.
Yeah, we're going to bring that back. We had touched on that briefly, and actually one day when we had Attorney Day, we drove through there, and we could see the need for it because they've got the trucks and the heavy equipment running back and forth, and there's cars trying to run through there, and I think it's pretty necessary. So we wanted to try to figure out the best way to get that done before we just go ahead and tell them
Okay.
they can shut the
All right.
road down.
All right, let's move to number 8. Approval of capital improvement bond resolution. Chief Accountant, Briggs, you going to change his title or not?
You can call him Acting Director Briggs if you
We're
like.
going to call him Acting Director.
Bob is okay.
Bob Briggs.
I appreciate it.
BB, we'll call you BB.
Thank you. Mayor, Commissioners, good evening. We're here with an agenda item, a public hearing tonight in relation to the Series 2017 Capital Improvement Revenue Refunding Funds. This is the last time we'll come before the Commission on this. We've been through it for a couple of years now. A couple of things have happened since we spoke last, the most important of which is the rating agencies provided us with very excellent ratings, AA stable, both from Fitch and Standard & Poor's. So with me also tonight are Margaret Lozcano, our underwriter.
Stand up, let them see who you are.
He's big on standing up. Angela Singleton with Hilltop, and Kareem with Bryant Miller Olive. He's our bond counsel this evening. And on that note, there are actually 2 public hearings for you tonight. But I think before we get to that, I want to do a couple of things I usually don't do, and that's thank everybody. Not only our team, they work hard for us, and we get great work from them, but the Commission did, and the City Manager's Office did a really great job. They worked hard. We got the rating agencies to come here. We were able to take them on tours of the city. It was a very positive event for us. And one of the most positive things about the rating is the effort by the Commission and by the City Manager to keep our reserves level in a very positive place. And it's played a big part in the ratings that we got, so it's something that we need to keep in mind too as we move through our budget for 18. And I don't really have anything else to talk about. I mean, we have some interest in the actual projects. I'm not prepared to speak to that tonight.
Well, I'll bring, we need to go ahead and finish this, and when we get through this, we'll bring Mike Rumor back out and Al and go over what we're doing with Mr. Renacki. Is that okay?
There's 2 resolutions before you tonight. One is a master bond resolution. We have not issued bonds in over almost 20 years now. So we had an opportunity to update the resolution, get it current, define our revenues. So the master resolution just really lays the groundwork for how we're going to engage and how we borrow money. So, and it's, we've all been through it. It's a very positive thing. And the supplemental resolution is unique to this bond issue, to the Series 2017 revenue refunding. And it's for, we're going to borrow about $43 million. 18 is a refunding of the Series 11 and 12 transportation CIP notes, and $25 million in new money for the projects that we've worked so hard with the public to identify and move forward.
All right, what we're going to do is we'll read the resolutions, both of them, and then when we do that, we'll open the public hearing for the first resolution, then we'll close it and come back and vote, and then we'll open it up for the second resolution and come back and vote.
All right.
All right.
All right, so for the Master Capital Improvement Bond Resolution, reads a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Ocoee, Florida, authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $43 million capital improvement revenue and refunding bonds, Series 2017, the Series 2017 bonds, authorizing and providing for the refunding of the city's capital improvement refunding revenue note, Series 2011, and the city's transportation improvement refunding revenue note, Series 2012. And for the financing of the designing, permitting, acquisition, construction, reconstruction, and equipping of various capital projects described herein, and to pay costs related to the issuance of the Series 2017 bonds, pledging half-cent sales tax revenues, communications services tax revenues, and public services tax revenues to secure payment of the principal of and interest on the Series 2017 bonds, making certain covenants and agreements in connection therewith, and providing for an effective date. And the supplemental resolution is a resolution of the City of Ocoee, Florida, supplementing Resolution 2017-005, adopted on March 21, 2017, which authorizes and approves the negotiated sale of not to exceed $43 million capital improvement revenue and refunding bond series 2017 for the purposes described herein, authorizing the sale thereof to Stifel, Nicholas and Company Incorporated, subject to the terms and conditions of a purchase contract, and delegating to the city manager the authority to award the sale of the bonds to such underwriter pursuant to a negotiated sale and subject to the conditions and terms set forth herein and in such purchase contract, approving the form of such purchase contract, the preliminary official statement, and the continuing disclosure certificate, authorizing the execution and delivery of such purchase contract, the final official statement, and such continuing disclosure certificate, appointing a paying agent and registrar, authorizing other required actions, and providing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask one question in there? I noticed on that second one that it says not to exceed 43 million. On our agenda, it's not to exceed 44 million.
It's not a math
Bob,
mistake.
I thought you were saying that it was going to be 43 plus.
We did. We requested not to exceed 44 strictly because the market was moving upward. The anticipated issue size is still around 43.
Do we need to change the resolution to say 44 mil? Not to exceed 44 mil.
Just hold on a minute.
Sorry. There's always got to be one, right?
No, that's an excellent question. Kareem Spratling, the honor of serving as your bond counsel at Brian Miller Olive. And that's a good question, Commissioner. And should you decide to go up to 44, it would be good to amend the motion to go to not to exceed 44. And we'll mark up the resolution. We'll get it signed up and it'll be okay.
But we can do that. When we do the motion, we'll approve that at the same time.
Up to 44.
Okay,
All
thank you.
right, I'm going to open the public hearings, and what we're going to do, Mr. Menacke, I'm going to bring out, I'm going to have to do this before we vote, because I don't want
That's fine, thank you.
Mike, you and Al, would y'all come up? We need to do a brief explanation for Mr. Menacke. You want to get over a little closer where you can hear him? Okay, all right.
Al, why don't you put it on the
They're
website?
going to explain to you about the 25 million.
Put it on there.
25 million. Just a quick synopsis.
Right. We have a number of projects that are moving forward, that about a third of it is going to road construction. About 15% is going to stormwater management, and the balance is going to parks and buildings in the downtown area. Recently, we've started construction on the Main Street extension, and we have selected a firm that we're going to recommend to the City Commission at the next commission meeting relative to the Bluford Avenue reconstruction project, a construction manager at risk. Today, we had the pre-proposal conference for City Hall design criteria package professionals. So we have that working on, and we have conceptual planning underway for both the downtown stormwater system and for the expansion of the Lakeshore Center. The next project that's going to go out for bids, it will be designed for the street projects on Taylor, Oakland, and McKee. And then pretty soon we should be in a position with the State Road 50 project to be able to start on the turn lanes on the Bluford Avenue approach to State Road 50.
All right, Mr. Benecki, you have any questions?
All this is on the city's website. You can look at each project individually.
You brought up something else. We can get a new city hall?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I must have missed something. What's wrong with this one?
It's sliding into the lake.
You've been sitting here for a long time. I always watch you sitting kind of cockeyed.
Well,
so-
I see what happened in
Yeah.
the one area. What else had happened?
Well,
to it?
one of the processes, let me explain to you. We went back through this process for the last year, pretty much a year and a half, with all the citizens of the town. We did public meetings over all what we were going to do with the 25 million. One of the process was to redo the downtown area on Oakland Street with a trail going through it and then do the sewer pipes coming down from up on the hill. But the city hall is part of it. One of the things we've come to believe, I think, and the citizens did also, and this was one of their priorities, is we can use this area here for other purposes of people using it for restaurants or different businesses that can come down here and be on the corner of the lake to serve the people and have it better than having City Hall sitting here. We'll move City Hall up between Betty J's and the McGuire House. So it was we went over this stuff for a year and a half. It's been
I
all
know,
over.
but the point is, you have an incident with sinkage at City Hall.
No, sir,
You
not
can't
one
condemn
instance.
the whole building. I haven't seen no cracks or anything around here.
Well, it's called it patched. It's because they've been patched.
Pardon?
It's plain to him, Mike.
I'll take you out in the lobby here in a minute. I can show you those,
Okay.
show you what we've had to do.
That's what
All
I-
right, we'll explain it to you, but it's been in the process for the last year and a half, Mr. Benecki, of what we're doing. And we can explain it to you, and they can sit down and show it to you.
I'm hearing a little bit of it, but then when you get down to actually what you're gonna do, I'm still trying to figure out what's wrong with this building, that you have to replace it.
Well,
We've had differential settling in the,
Pardon?
differential settling in the foundation. It
Where?
means that the lakeside is going down and pulling away from the parking lot side.
To what degree? I mean, can that be repaired?
No, it's several inches.
Well,
and,
you got settlements, so people work around that, they redo it in the area, the bad area, not the whole building.
It's a lot worse than just settling.
Mr. Benecki, it's about a $2 million fix.
And what's your cost you for a new one?
Well, we don't know yet. We've got a design being done. We don't have any of that started yet. We can-
Okay,
All right?
so,
All right. Well, you can come down and look at the maps and look at all the deals. All right, we're gonna open. Did I open it to the public? Did I open it to the public? I haven't opened it to the public yet. But I will. Come on up, come on up. Come on. Come on up.
Outside, yes.
I'm not going to go into the project at all. My feelings are pretty well known, especially with my commissioner, and I trust in the hands that you guys do. I only had one question, and that was because I couldn't find it on the website and didn't get a specific answer as of yet, and that was how many homes were going to be directly affected with potential eminent domain with this particular blueprint. Would you happen to know the number specifically in the area? Because I know there's homes that are affected by eminent domain by us changing roadways and making a new entrance. I just was curious to how many total there were.
There is no set amount to date with either the planners on the master plan designed the Blueford streetscape, the Oakland Avenue, the McKee Street, partial Taylor. I think we own the property, so we know we know fairly well that under the right-of-way projects, we should not need right-of-way. We may need an easement, a TCE. On the other projects, such as a regional master stormwater pond, there was a vision plan that said there's a creek, that's the ideal place where the water should go. We have secured an engineer to give us a better engineered guess on how much water we need to hold, so then we can figure out where that pond should be located, how deep, and how it should be placed. And then, based on that, we will look at a park around that pond. So there's no number
As of
yet. So
But there will be affected homes, clearly.
There will be some properties that
Excellent.
may be affected.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for giving me the time to speak to you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else in the public have any comments on item A, Master Capital Improvement Bond Resolution? If not, I'm going to close it and bring it back up here, and we need to have a motion. Or if you don't have any more discussion on it. If you have any discussion, if not,
Are we approving both?
no, we're going to do
Just
the
the
A
master?
first.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the master.
All right.
Did you wanna-
You got to make the motion with not to exceed.
That's the second one, that's B.
No,
Well, it's in the first one as
we
well.
did it first one
Oh, it's
too,
in the
Tom.
first one as well? Okay, not to exceed the 44 million.
All right. Motion made to not to exceed 44 million on the major master capital improvement. So here's a second.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Keller. No more comments? Let's vote. Motion carries unanimous with Commissioner Wilson absent. All right, now we'll go to the B.
Motion to approve the supplemental resolution with the change not to exceed 44 million.
Second.
I will, just real quick, I'll make a statement. When I opened it a while ago, I said for A and B when we did the public hearing, so I'm not going to open it again unless you think I have to. No, I said that when we did that. All right, motion's made by Commissioner Keller. Do I hear a second?
Commissioner
Grogan, Commissioner
second.
Grogan. Any more comments on that? No more comments? Let's vote. All right. I'd just like to say thank you to the bond committee, people that worked, all these young ladies and that gentleman, and Mark Gavin, and Bob, and his excellent repertoire at the bond hearing to the people from New York. I think that got them won over. And we appreciate the city staff, Rob and Craig, and everybody that worked on getting this done. We got a great bond rate and appreciate it very much. Thank you.
We didn't, that's a double A, correct?
Double
We
A.
didn't state
Double
it,
A.
so let's let everybody know we have a double A rating now.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
ladies.
job.
All right. First reading ordinance, number H. First reading of ordinance regulating human signs.
Number 9. Right, 9?
All right. This is first reading. It's not usually any discussion on it, but you want to just tell us a brief?
Yes, this is an ordinance looking at human signs, or as affectionately called, the sign twirlers. We are looking at a way to regulate them that will allow for the businesses in the city of Ocoee to utilize a form of advertising using human sign holders, but it does provide more safety and keeps them out of our right-of-way. And the second reading of that will be, you got that?
I got it. Second reading will be on April the 18th, not April the 4th, April the 18th. All right.
Can I go ahead and read that?
We'll read the resolution.
All right, this is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending Section 8-6 of the City of Ocoee Land Development Code defining and regulating human signs, amending Section 153-4 of the City of Ocoee Code of Ordinances, prohibiting human signs for purposes of right-of-way utilization, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing an effective date.
All right. Like I said, second reading will be April the 18th. All right. Going to item I, second reading of ordinance, public hearing for regulating panhandling. Chief, Deputy Chief McCosker.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. Frank. The staff's recommending that you approve the and pass the panhandling ordinance as recommended.
Is that it? All right.
If you have any specific questions, I'm more than happy to answer them for you, sir.
Does anybody up here have any before I open the public hearing? I'm going to open the public hearing. Well, first, I'm going to let him read the ordinance.
All right. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, creating a new Article 4 of Chapter 153 of the City of Ocoee Code of Ordinances relating to panhandling, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing an effective date.
All right, open it for public hearing. Anybody have any comments on the Second reading of ordinance regulating panhandling. Nope, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the podium for a vote.
I make a motion to pass.
Motion made by Commissioner Grogan. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Forster. No more discussion? Let's vote. Motion carries unanimously without Commissioner Wilson here. All right.
sir.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you. Regular agenda. No there. Staff action anymore, Rod?
I have nothing, Mayor.
Comments from commissioners. Commissioner Grogan.
I have nothing, thank you, Mayor.
Commissioner Forster.
Nope, come out to Best Fest, March 30th, have a good time.
Commissioner Keller.
None at this time, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you very much. If anybody in town pays attention, we've got the road cut through cleared on between Bluford and McGuire. They'll be working on that. I think it's supposed to be 90 days in the process to get that completed. Then we'll have a cut through from Bluford over to McGuire. If not, any more comments? Next meeting will be April the 4th. Meeting adjourned. Yes, sir.
I like that. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to get up at a reasonable hour.
Don't forget to fill your forms out.